What's up, YouTube, man? The homie Big D back in the building, man. Uh, due to requests from everybody who commented said they want to hear the about where my mental health was when I first went in prison, about the deep depression that I was in when I first went into prison. I had mentioned it in my last video, and I'm gonna give the people what they want. So this is what I was going through. Now, I have never done this here. I noticed that I have done like videos on how the prison was, what the politics was inside the prison, Alto State Prison, but I never really did one about my own personal feeling of how my mind, what my mindset was. You know what I mean? And this is the video on it. So please bear with me, man. So here's the thing, before I start on this video, that you know, God is real, because I know for a fact that I could not have survived and made it through that point in time in my bed without him being there with me in the whole time that I was going through what I was going through. I mean, throughout the whole time, it's that poem that was wrote, Footsteps in the Sand. You know what I mean? When you had like 2 sets of steps, but every time it was troubling times that it was only one step, one set of footstep, and the guy asked God, "Why did you leave me in the times of my trouble?" He said, "I wasn't leaving you; I was carrying you." And I honestly believe that what was going on with me. So let's get started. So here's the thing: 1993, as I stated in the earlier videos, I was convicted of murder and aggravated assault. I was sentenced to life plus 20. 20 years was actually ran in with the life. Now, mind you, I don't know the difference between consecutive and concurrent at the time. You know what I mean? Concurrent means that the time was ran in. Consecutive means you got the life plus the 20. It means you got to do the whole entire thing, both bids. You got to roll out on each individual bid. So me hearing that is not what actually drove me to depression. When I was in the courtroom and I looked back in the courtroom and I looked back at the people who had always been there for me, you know what I mean? Meaning my moms and my grandmother. My aunt, she wasn't there because she said she didn't want to come up in the courtroom. She didn't want to deal with it. Like, it been too much stress for her, so she decided not to come. But when I look back and I looked at my mama, and I just basically was trying to let her know my height was good, you know what I mean? Because, the life that I had chosen didn't have anything to do with her. You know what I mean? This is something that I got to pay for. It is what it is. And she said, "I'm sorry." She said, "I'm sorry." And that tore me. I mean, that tore me down, bro. Like, seriously, because at that point, she let me know that she felt like she was at fault for everything that I was going through. When, truthfully, it's my fault. I made the choice and the decision that I made, and now I got to pay for the consequences of my action. It had nothing to do with her. Had completely everything to do with me. But when you see that you are tearing at the person that loves you the most, the one who raised you, who nurtured you, who took care of you when you couldn't take care of yourself, and you start making choice and decisions outside of their what they want for you, and you start living in a life, glorifying a life that they tried to deter you from. I mean, like my mom, man, she sacrificed a lot for me, like for real, for real. And I'm gonna give y'all the backstory before I get to the point where I was in prison, and that depression came about because so my whole entire life, that's all I wanted to do was play ball, like football. And she sacrificed a lot to try to make sure that dream came true. You know what I mean? Like, she would go to work, come get off from work, come pick me up, take me to practice, sit out there at practice, come back, you know what I mean, bring me home and stuff like that. She always made sure that I got to practice. when she got off from work, came to all my games. She supported me wholeheartedly. I got older and I started getting a little bit more, you know, adventurous. And eventually decided that I didn't want to play football anymore. I wanted to run the streets. What that it was a Scarface song where he said smile. And one he had with Tupac when he said, God no, I gave up football for Cook Raw. And basically that I was on that same type of goddamn time. Quiet, a quiet, shy, reclusive, introvert, angry, menacing human being start developing into a different person. You know what I mean? And she didn't recognize me over the time, but she still stood there with me. She seemed like the monster that I was trying to become. And she fought against it because she know the child that she raised. That's why you can see parents sitting up saying, man, you know, my child's a good child, regardless of how bad the situation things that they did. Because in their heart of hearts, they know that they didn't raise a monster. And like I said, I don't feel like monsters are born. I feel like they are created. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel because I know better. So that's why I create this platform, because I know that a lot of the kids that we see and look and shake our heads at, man, we are not even looking at the deeper problems that they are facing. So I'm trying to deter them from making the choice and the decision that I made. But once I got to prison, after my mom said that, first thing first, I was in the county, and that's when the depression started. And it was deeper than it was when I got to prison. You know what I mean? It used to be a saying in prison where you say, I ain't gonna bathe, or shave until I see better days. There used to be an old junkie saying where they say that. You know what I mean? Where, you know, me, I was trying to take that on like, bro, literally for like a week or two, bro. I didn't get bad. I didn't come out the room. I did not eat. I didn't do nothing but sleep and they thinking like it's the time, bro. It wasn't the time. I wasn't tripping on the time. If I had not had nobody out here in the world that cared anything for me, I surely didn't care for myself. I mean, you can probably look at it like, man, you tripping, but I'm dead ass. I'm talking about, I'm for real. I didn't care, you know what I'm saying, about the time. But I did care about the people who cared about me. My thing is, man, I'm very loyal to people that I love. And I love the people that, and you say, well, how you make the choice and decision that you made to go to prison? If you loved your mother, then why would you do that? Because I didn't think she understood what I was going through. And that's being naive you know what I mean? That's a young man being naive, that he don't understand that she don't live in this world. She done seen this. This is a cycle. This is just a recreation of something that already been going on. You just now catching on. But she been seeing it, and she trying to deter you from goddamn making choice and decisions that she don't see in other people that made bad choice and decision that left them in a bad situation. But yeah, I was in the county, so that's where it started. She used to give me Bible verses to read. My folk are very religious people. You know what I mean? They believe in God. They believe in God wholeheartedly. So she gave me the Bible verses. I used to read the Bible verses and stuff like that. But it felt like it was being redundant because nothing was changing. Not understanding that my circumstances wasn't going to change until I changed. But just the early part of my life in prison, in jail. So when I get to Alto, and you got to go back and check out the earlier videos and stuff like that. Of course, the depression didn't just ease up then. I'll continue on, but right now I'm in survival mode. So once you're in survival mode, you thinking that you just going through the motions though, because you're not trying to figure out everything. You're just trying to avoid as much BS as you possibly can. So diagnosis is diagnostic. You come out of diagnostic, you move from diagnostic to cross the yard. You move across the yard. Now, while I was in diagnostic, of course, Crash Out Shouter was in there. And, you know, a couple of my other homies was in there that came down with me. Although, you know, you can see Friends or Foe, go back and check that video out before I take it down, because it's eventually going to get took down, and I'm going to probably redo it. But in Friends or Foes, I'll tell you about Fat Boy and how I felt about him, because he took the stand on me. But when I started realizing the lay of the land, that I had to put all that to a side to deal with what's going on with me and bruh, until we figure out how to survive this situation that we're in. Because like everything is clicked up, you know what I mean, by their hoods or by their cities, brother. And if you are from Atlanta, you're still clicked up by your hood. If you're from the west side, the east side, the south side, or you know what I mean, whatever zone you coming out of, and that's how everything was got on dictated and pushed upon us in individual counties or whatever in Metro Atlanta. So, with that said, the depression still is there. It's hovering in the background. You know what I mean? I know it's there. I know I'm not functioning fully to my best ability. You know what I mean? I'm just going through the motion. If the days go by, and the weeks go by, and the months go by. But here's the thing that I'm going to tell y'all. It was so bad that I didn't want my parents to come see me. And I'm talking about, I did not want people to come see me. I just tell lies like I lost my ID card and I ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? Don't send me no money. Don't do nothing. I was trying to get lost in prison. I remember one time I hadn't called home about 2-3 months, and my mom had called to the prison, and the prison had got on, counselor had made me call home because I hadn't called home. She didn't know if I was dead or alive. I hadn't wrote no letters. She wrote letters. I didn't respond to them or anything. And she was sending me like Bible verses in these letters. And I'm thinking like, if I just die to the outside world, that she would not be stressed out about me. Because the whole entire time I close my eyes, I keep seeing her face saying, I'm sorry. What changed that narrative before I let them come and see me, and this is a quick story, and it's funny actually, and it's making me smile because my grandma was something else. But man, I missed that lady, man. She ain't no longer here with us. She passed about a few years ago. But yeah, she's like my mom too. So, you know, she's like a surrogate mom because I basically grew up with her too. But she called me and she was telling me about her brother-in-law. He had did 5 years in Reedsville. And she said, you know, I'm gonna talk to that boy. I said, yeah, man. She said, Derek, yeah. Now you know your uncle. And I said, yeah. And she called the name. I said, yeah, what about it? You know, he got locked up back in the day. He was out there in Oakland City, robbing people out there in Oakland City. I said, yeah, man. I said, I heard about that. Yeah, you know, he ended up doing 5 years in prison. There's something down there that penitentiary, Georgia State Penitentiary, is what they used to call Reedsville. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, okay. Where we going with him? I said, yeah, you know, we used to try to go down there and see him. Tell him, don't worry about me, man. Don't come see me. Don't come see me. And come to find out, them boys down there running in it. I said, whoa, wait a minute, Grandma. What you saying? I just want to know if the boy down there was running in you. I said, nah, ain't nobody running in me, Grandma. You ain't got that phone call that your son is, you ain't never get out of prison. So she's like, well, we'll be able to see you this weekend. So that would change that. And allowing them to come see me, which helped me out a lot. Because then once I started having an opportunity to speak to my mom and see her, you know, it kind of eased up. And I knew I had to be strong for her. And then all of it was a lot of facade, you know what I mean? It's fake, you know what I mean? Because I was showing like I'm good, but internally, man, I'm battling like, whew, you know what I mean? And mentally, it's like my mind is jumbled up everywhere. Then right along with everything that was going on around me. Now here's the thing. Well, I know there's a God. Because out of all this stuff that was going on around me, all the things that happened, the attacks that came my way was very minimal or minor. Things that I can eventually avoid with just putting my hands on somebody or just walking away from. It was never nothing that personal where I would have to do something to somebody. Because behind the depression was a monster that was there. It was boiling deep inside of me, deep in my heart. I knew it. And I was fighting it, trying to suppress it. I didn't want to become what I was seeing on a day-to-day basis in that place. It was there, eating at me. That's why in these stories, you see me doing a lot of time when I'm doing the like, trying to save some individual, trying to pull an individual out the way or try to make a person not make a choice and decision. You know what I mean? They put themselves in harm's way. That was my way of suppressing the monster. I was worse than the guys that were doing it to them. I wanted to do to them what they was doing to other people. But I wanted to do it to them. I didn't want them to live through it, if that makes sense. I wanted to take them out. So that's why when I tell the story and I get to a point of anger, that's what it be. Because I know where I had suppressed. I remember Crash Out Shouted one time. It's a dude that has got stole something from me. I found out he stole it. And I told him, I said, I'm going to get him. But I know he got the whole Atlanta with it. So I got to figure out how I can get him solo dolo. And this man literally, with tears in the eyes, begged me because he know me. He know how I get out. He know how I rock. He knew what I was telling him was true, that I'm going to take him out. I'm going to not beat him. I'm going to do him so dirty that he ain't going to never come back from it. And that man literally begged me. And when we had to end up having a sit down and a talk about it with dude, and then dude was like, man, my bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. Then the third, he made it right. But we made it right under the rug. But yet still, he made it right. You know what I mean? But still, I wanted to do something to that man. And he knew it. I'm like, literally. And I even set him up on one. It didn't go the way that I planned it. But it was. But that's the monster that was right there. I was very manipulative. I was very goddamn conniving. I always was plotting, planning. I'm a grudge harder. I hold a grudge. If you do something to me today, it might be years later, and I'm sitting around planning and plotting and waiting for you to slip, for you can put yourself out there in the open, where you can be isolated away from whatever protecting you, for I can come and attack you. I was like that. I was like that. So when I tell these stories, I'm not always the hero in these stories. It's a bad in me that's there. It eats at me. I still battle with them same demons to this day. But yeah, guess what I got putting me toward the light is God. So that's why I harp on it. I was walking in the midst of faith, not without faith, but in the midst of it, because I had to believe that it's something better than what I was at. I had to believe that it's going to be a good to come out of the back end of this bad. You know what I mean? It got to be, because if not, I'm going to submit to this, man. And the depression that I was feeling, the devil started trying to pull me in another direction, man. It was so much evil in there, man. It was so easy and so tempting to get involved in. But I prayed on a daily basis. I literally prayed all the time. And dudes would think I'm praying for my own protection, bro. I'm praying for you, bro. I remember I told the dude that, I said, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you, my boy. You know what I mean? We had got into a little argument, disagreement and stuff like that. And I had to walk off and pray because I was so angry about the disagreement that I really was thinking about doing something real terrible to this man. And I went off to myself and I was sitting over there on the table just praying. And he like to him, ain't no prayer, ain't gonna save you. I said, I'm praying for you, my boy. We ended up getting into a little tussle. This is a quick story. You know what I mean? We ended up getting into a tussle, man. I knocked him out. You know what I mean? Dudes broke it up because I really want to do something to him. You know what I mean? Like, really just, like, finish him off. But, you know, they stopped it because it really wasn't about nothing. You know what I mean? It really wasn't about nothing at all. Actually, it was about nothing. You know what I mean? I had got some stuff that I was trying to send back to the dorm. I was on store restriction, and he had got in the middle of it and got it knocked off, and I was just in the front of it. But out there, deep depression, though. I'm talking about, man, so I just started doing this. I just started praying and staying in the Bible and reading books all the time. So that's what started making me read books on a regular basis. That's why you're hearing these stories that I'm always reading books, because I had to start figuring out what was going on. So what I did, I started creating my own alternate world within the world that I was living in, meaning that I would read books, would take my mind away from prison. But see, when I started realizing when person write a book, they write a piece of themselves. So you're living through that person's lenses instead of your own personal lens. And you start seeing the world on a bigger, in a more vivid and bigger screen than what you realize that it was what's right there in front of you. And that's the truth about reading books. That's why I harp to people right now, man. Read. Don't social media, read. Come here and look at that video, then go read a book until I drop another video, then come back and do the same like in reverse. But read, man. Take time out today, man. I don't care if anything that you get an opportunity to sit down and read, man. Any type of literature you can pick up and read it, man. I honestly do believe that, man. But if you are not a religious person, you know what I mean, still read. If you are a religious person, man, go to God, man. You know, and pick the Bible and read the word, man. You know what I mean? Because even if it's something that you know about, man, it still can give you inspiration to make it through the day. That's what I believe in, and that's what I approach, and that's what I preach. You know what I mean? You can believe what you want to believe. I do believe in God. I believe in the Most High. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I believe in Christ. I believe in all that. You know what I mean? But this is what it's about. My own personal dealing with depression. As the time went on, it got better because what I was able to do was start finding, you know what I mean, taking steps, mental steps. Start finding a different mindset than the one I had. Remember what I told y'all, like when I first came out of diagnostics, I'm going around, it seems like I'm jumping around, but it all lead up to the same thing. I came out of diagnostics, I went to trade school, and I didn't get an opportunity to basically just take advantage of the trade because of the depression that I was going through at that point in time. Now I'm gonna show you how this worked. I'm gonna tell the story, but it was a guy that was in trade with me that said some foul, because they used to have this thing called the sex game down there. He said something out the way to me. I don't play like that, so I don't know nothing about. All of it's gay to me, so I feel like if you say anything fly to me, then it gonna cause me to react, feeling like, okay, you got to go. You can't live on this earth with me anymore. It's over with for you, buddy. I got to unalive this man. You know what I mean? And I went and got a weapon. I went at him. The whole stopped me. He was running. I couldn't catch him. We in trade. I'm running this man all around. My co-defendant Slim, who was in the trade with me, he was crying, begging me, "No, man, no, you ain't gonna never get out. You ain't gonna never get out." Man, I'm not getting out anyway. That's what I'm saying. I'm not getting out anyway. Now, mind you, at the point in time I first went into prison on a life sentence, you only had to do 7 years before you came up for your first parole. Now, a couple of years that I had been in there, they pushed it up to 15. But I didn't know they were going to retro me in it. You know what I mean? And now it's 30 years. Let's get it understood, young man. Before you sit out there and do something crazy to go to prison and you catch that life sentence, 30 years. Don't even think about it. 30 years. That's just the beginning. Matter of fact, my partner told me it's 35 now. So 35 years, my G. 35 years. So if you 20 years old, you go out and unalive a man, kidnap somebody, or do something crazy to catch a life sentence, it will be 55 years old before them folks even start considering. They ain't gonna let you out, considering letting you out of prison. Meaning the day you go into prison, the people who are on the pardon and parole board, it ain't gonna even be on the pardon and parole board by the time you come up for parole. Think about that. Take that in consideration. So the day that your case come in front of them, although you done did 35 years, to them, you ain't did never a year. Or how many years they been working up? 5 years. Give them 5 more. See, that'll teach you. 60 years old, you coming out of prison. And you went in at 20. 18, 19 years old, 20, 21 years old, 25. Think about it. Why you in? Why you thugging out here? They don't see about you. See the depression thing for real. But yeah, it was eating at me, bro. So yeah, that was digging at me, man, like for real. And when it came to a point when I almost took a dude out, I'm gonna go back to this. I ended up getting kicked out of trade school, basically. You know what I mean? Long story short, they kicked me out of trade school, something in the annex. That's how I ended up in the annex. I never told the story, but I'm gonna eventually tell it. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's how I ended up in the annex. Now, I didn't get him. I didn't do nothing to the dude. I didn't catch him. But I think about a couple of days later, I was out of there. So I'm feeling like he went and told it. This is what I feel. He went back and told the instructor got done, ran it down to them folks, because I wasn't doing anything in there anyway. And then I was on the next train up out of there, bro. Out the blue. Out the blue. So that's what they did to me, bro. But anyway, yeah, man, the depression thing is real, man. And a lot of that came, like I said, I was suppressing the monster that was inside. And when I started realizing when I was trying to come up out of it, the devil stayed busy, and I almost took the dude out. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for Crash Out Shouting, me and you wouldn't be seeing my face right now on this TV screen, on this computer screen, because I literally was the inches away from doing the dude in with just my hands and my feet, straight up. You know what I mean? Straight up, straight up. And when I left there and with the Leesburg, and when I thought that I had got to that point of Zen, and I was at a point where I didn't want to be, I was somewhere that I didn't want to be, I tried it again. Inches. Just a dude, he was pretty good. His survival skills was way better than my underlying skills. I'm just gonna tell you that, but the story gonna get told, and I'm gonna tell them everything about what I went through in prison and stuff like that. But back to my depression. After that, what started helping me was when I was like, after that last dude the first dude I almost took out, you know what I mean? And where the first dude what I was just telling you about, Crash Out Should've stopped me from doing real bad. And there was another guy in between that, but actually, I was gonna do him down bad, but you know what I mean? Dub B basically got in the middle of it, and I don't like people to help me do nothing. You know what I mean? He was at the end of it, you know what I mean? But I'm glad he did in hindsight, because I probably would have hurt that dude real bad. But I started laughing. I'm tell y'all them story, man. I ain't gonna give up everything. Y'all gonna have to stick with me, my boy. You know what I mean? But anyway, so the good that y'all see that I'm doing is actually me trying to suppress the monster that and the evil that was in my heart the whole entire time. So that's the depression. So when you hear me tell these stories, I'm just telling you from the mind how I did it, what I see, how I see it now, at the moment, and living in the moment, how I seen it then, and I'm trying to mesh both of those things together. Now, a lot of this stuff I suppressed over time that I was locked out. I didn't talk about prison a lot. I used to talk about prison to people that I was in prison with. That's who I talked about prison to. So I thought that was helping me get it out. But you got to tell society, you got to tell the world about your wrong before you can make it right. And so that's what I started doing. So I started saying, let's save some lives. Quit saying that you about that, but you ain't really doing nothing about that. I'm not the type of dude to be walking down the street with no cardboard sign talking about, man, y'all get it together. But I am the type of dude to reach the people how I know I can reach them the best on this screen right here. So that's why I tell y'all, share, like, subscribe, get the algorithm, build the algorithm up. You know what I mean? I want to start a membership, but I ain't starting no membership. And I don't know if I ever will start a membership, because I don't want nobody to pay for this knowledge. I want y'all to see and see it. If you want to help me out, you want to send me some money. When I drop them premiere, hey man, hit that super like, man. You know what I mean? Super chat. I appreciate it. But if you don't, man, I'm not mad at you, man. Your views are good enough for me. I promise you, because they let me know that I got your attention. And if I'm saying something to you, bring the youngins in, man, and let them sit down and hear what I'm talking about, man. You know what I mean? Because I don't want nobody to go through that, man. Prison is worse than that, man. You heard the GDs and the Bloods are going at it in them, man. They are over there, goddamn, going at it. And then once that's over with, it's gonna be the Bloods and the Muslim and the Crips. It always gonna. It's a whole different cycle. It's gonna continue on and on and on. And I do not condone it. Period. You would never hear me on here telling y'all, man, this is how it's supposed to be and how it go down, and this is what it is. No, period, at all. It's not in me no more. But when I was in that at that point in time, going through that depression, man, yeah, it's well. You know what I mean? And I used to let stuff go and plot and plan and scheme. And God protected me from myself, because he knew where I was going to go with it. He knew what I could go for and what I wasn't going to go for. You know what I'm saying? He knew how things was with me. He understand me because I'm his child and I had submitted to him way before I went to prison, but I just walked away from him. And he stood there with me, waiting on me. You know what I mean? And he loved me enough to keep me alive. And I felt like the reason why he did that was for me to be on here to stow this message on to y'all, man. And I pray and I hope that each and every individual who is going through something will find that place of zen, that place of peace, and start living in that moment of peace, whether it be God or whatever you believe in, man. Please, man, please, if you are dealing with mental health, man, go get help. Please go get help because you have the opportunity now to go get it. Whether it be a confidant, somebody that you can talk to, somebody you can vent to, somebody you can confide in, please do that. Because when I was in prison, I didn't have that. So I confided in the only thing I could confide in was God. Because if I couldn't go to my mama, because I had to stay strong for her. Because I had to make her seem like it's okay. It's okay, mom. It's okay. I'm good. You know what I mean? I was just straight. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing I can't handle in him, man. I'm good in him. And God put good people around me, man. Let's start right there. Everybody who's locked up in prison wasn't bad people. I'm just speaking on the bad people. The people that was my friends, my partner in them to this day. You know what I mean? I just literally got the phone with one of my homies today. You know what I mean? The good people, the good people that was in prison, man, with me, man. And they was there with me and they had my back like I had theirs. And they knew in the hearts of heart, I was a good dude because I always showed that. I always was there. I would feed you if you were hungry, man. I give you advice if you need it, man. I would let you goddamn vent if you needed to vent. Now, just know, when you ask me my opinion, I'm going to give it to you real, 100, and authentic, and uncut. It ain't going to be no fake kicking it and no sucker shit. Period. You know what I mean? And I'm like that to this day. If you call me like, hey, man, did that, I did this, man, what you think, man? But this person did that, and the third. But it's not about what the person did to you, it's about how you react to it. And it's always going to be that. And that's something that I had to learn over time, man. But how I eventually got out of that depression and started understanding myself, looking in the mirror and start taking the fault and accountability for my own choice and decision, my action, which I already was on. But when I started realizing the deeper problem within my own mental that led me to make them choices and decisions, right along with the fact that I had to start having accountability, right along with self-awareness leads to accountability. I'm going to do a video on that too one of these days, but self-awareness only leads to accountability. Accountability is goddamn trying to right your issues by making the right choice and the steps and to make it happen. I can't say it the right way, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, man. So that's my video on that, man. And I just did that video, man, just to go ahead and get that out the way. And I'm going to drop it actually up under the Alto goddamn Chronicles because it needs to be dropped up under them, man. But like I said, man, y'all continue on, man. And, follow the channel, man. And it's about that time I got to drop me these goddamn comments, man. I appreciate everybody on it, man. And continue to watch the video, man. Continue to goddamn follow me, man. Continue to goddamn like the video. Hype the videos up, man. Help build the algorithm. YouTube ain't gonna help you. YouTube only gonna let it go so far, man. But the people that chime in, the people who hit the like button and hit that hype, man, hype them videos up, man. It costs you not one, not now, Japanese yen. But I promise you it ain't gonna cost you that. If they do, man, let me know, man. I'm going to the YouTube goddamn headquarters and get your money back. But I got you. Hey, man, let's start this thing out. Mario Williams, man. Hey, St. Louis in the building. Brian Blake, man. What's happening, homie? You know what I mean? Hey, I'm actually in works on that whole situation of thinking about goddamn coming up with a goddamn merchandise plan. I'm just actually on trying to come up with a design and everything for some merchandise that I'm gonna put out there. You know what I mean? Not one Japanese yen, boy. That's the name of that merchandise I'm thinking about dropping. Not one Japanese yen written in the Japanese letter. You know what I mean? But yeah, what y'all think about that? Just let me know. Hit me in the comments. You think they're gonna be fine? You know what I mean? Just let me know. Darius, man, what's happening, homie? Always tapping in, man. Hartford, goddamn Connecticut in the building, man. Hey, man, look at him, man. Monster Cody, man. Yes, sir. KC was a real one. 100, man. He was one of the solid ones in there, man. He's the one I'm speaking on in this video that I know was my friend on the street as well as in prison. You know what I mean? I hate that their brother's no longer here with him, man. Rest in peace to King, man. To the King, KC, my boy. You know what I mean? Hey, man, Carol, man, I appreciate it, man. Yeah. Oh, y'all 2 video. Hey, hey, I feel you, man. I probably need to do that too. I'm gonna drop y'all one of them, man, when I get some time. I had my daughter yesterday, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like that, Princess, she got to have her time, man. BR4 TV, man, what's happening, man? My boy always chiming in, man. Subscribe to his channel, man. He got a channel, man, where he do a lot of reaction video, man. Go to that channel, man. It's at BR-4 TV, man. BR-4 TV, man. He support me. I'm supporting him. Hey, man, go in there and check that brother out, man. Hey, Kendall Wilson, man. What's up? Cordell is in the building, man. Cordell. You know what I mean? I told a story about somebody from Cordell. Could you figure it out? But anyway, Xavier as well, man. Hey, man, appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? Early bird for the worm, man. Hey, I hope this answered a lot of the questions that you had asked. I'm not going to go back all through your comments, but yes, you know what I mean? I hope that answered a lot of the questions. But as far as me speaking on what I did on the street to get in prison, the crime that I actually committed to get in prison, I would probably do some videos about street stuff, but it's kind of iffy for me to do the whole thing about that last thing that I did to come in prison. But I might do it. I might just do it, but it's going to be kind of on the, because if the person who lost their life, family member, come across my page, I don't want to make it seem like it's something that I'm proud of or I am saluting, because it would sound like, you know what I mean, I'm not taking accountability for what happened. And I don't want nobody to relive it or rewalk it back down that road. Not that I'm worried about any goddamn reparation or something coming back. Well, you know what I mean, something coming back my way on it. That's out of respect, you know what I mean, to the victims of any crime that I committed. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of hesitant to do that. But I didn't go to prison for goddamn, like I said, baking cakes and selling illegal cakes is the Bible is a Bible function. I didn't go to jail for that. So I wasn't a good person at that point in time. But I will tell a street story to give y'all a good idea about type of stuff I might have been on. You know what I mean? Not, hey, man, what's up, Arnold Walker, man? Appreciate that support, man. Native Pride, appreciate it. Hey, G Money, G Code, what's happening, home? You know what I mean? Yeah, I won. But when I'm feeling like the thing that was bothering me the most about that whole situation is this video should give y'all a good explanation on why I felt like I did on the last video, and sometimes when I get angry, because I really wanted to do something to the people who done something to other people. I really did. I really wanted to do them bad, real bad. But like I said, God was working with me. You know what I mean? And you know what them dudes was doing, a lot of time put themselves in that position. Outside, it ain't no homeboy. He didn't do nothing to put himself in that position. You know what I mean? He just really just got in, and that's why I went in with Buddy. Go back and check that. Ain't no homeboy, man. That's hard. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Sack Chase. Yeah, exactly. No Bombays. Don't drink Bombays with people, man. Don't be goddamn smoking with random people, man. They put that sequel in there, that Cirquil in there. They knock them dudes out and they do them down bad that way too, man. Yes, they was doing it that way too, man. They were trying to, they were drugging dudes and violate them. They did do stuff like that in there. You know what I mean? Now, I don't really have a story, but I have heard of people getting got that way. You know what I mean? And I wasn't in the dormitory, because if I had been in the dormitory when them people was doing that type of stuff, I probably would have gone here and had some issue with them. But anyway, man, Brian Blake, man, I appreciate that, man. And this the mental story for you, homie. All right, man. Till the next time, man. Like, subscribe, share, man. Hey, man, comment. Hit me in the comments, man. Y'all know what I want. You know what I mean? With the next story, I might go ahead and drop one of the stories I was telling you about in here. Just be patient, brother. I got you. I'm coming.